KSI and Jake Paul has been talking a lot of trash on Twitter lately, and today we're going to check it out. Starting with KSI's tweet, KSI tweeted about Jake Paul buying hype for his fight. This is what he had to say. "Don't think we don't see how desperate this looks. No one cares, so you gotta pay to create hype, LMAO." KSI would respond to a fan that was complimenting Jake Paul for taking on a 12-1 opponent opposed to KSI taking on an influencer named Wassabi. KSI would respond by saying, "That's why it's even more embarrassing that more people care about me fighting nobody than Jake Paul fighting a 12-1 pro heavyweight boxer." Which, to be quite honest, I have to say it isn't really that surprising to me. KSI, who is an internet superstar, is fighting a fighter who just beat KSI's younger brother, which both Wassabi and Deji have a massive following themselves. To me, it's not that surprising that KSI would beat Jake Paul in PPV sales. Jake Paul is essentially facing someone that the YouTube boxing community probably never heard of until now. And Hasim Rahman Jr. doesn't have a huge following himself. So to me, it isn't that surprising that KSI is outdoing Jake Paul in PPV sales. But moving on. KSI would then tweet a picture of Jake Paul vs. Hasim Rahman Jr. checkout page and show that the tickets are around $60, and KSI would say, "I promise you all that my PPV this August 27th will be less than that." To which Jake Paul would respond saying, "No crap, dummy. You have one win. I have 5. Coming off a KO of the year. You're fighting an influencer. I'm fighting a 12-1 legit boxer. We are not the same. You shouldn't charge more than $10. Jake would follow up with this tweet, "Thanks for the retweet, KSI. You've won the $1,000 contest." KSI would respond to Jake Paul's previous tweet saying, "Can't wait till I get more PPVs, fighting an influencer. You're right, we're not the same. Soon you'll be begging to fight me. Mark my words." KSI would then respond to the $1,000 contest tweet by saying, "Think you need it more. Gotta pay people to attend your fight, buddy, cause the place ain't selling." Jake Paul would then respond saying, "I made $45 million last year, while you made weekly YouTube videos." Then Jake would tweet out a message that was sent supposedly by Logan Paul saying, "Hey brother, sending you $1,000 Cash App. Can you send it over to KSI for me? He won a $1,000 retweet contest. I know Spotify's streams are plummeting and his tour could barely sell, so he could probably really use it right now." Well, I'm going to be honest, I'm certain Logan Paul did not send that message, because that would jeopardize Logan and KSI's business relations. So no, I think Jake Paul had that made to look like Logan, which is, to be honest, is a pretty dirty thing considering he's your own brother, and you're trying to make Logan Paul look like a jerk who went behind KSI's back to trash talk. I don't know, I think it's risky for Logan Paul to send a message like that to Jake Paul, knowing how Jake is, and possibly ruin most likely half of his targeted audience for Prime. KSI would respond to Jake Paul's previous tweet about YouTube videos and say, "You still don't get it. You didn't care about the platform that made you who you are. Constantly denouncing it. I never did. I'm happy to say I'm a YouTuber to this day, because now I can do/be whatever I want. I'm thinking of the long term, my guy. You failed at this." I gotta agree with KSI on this. No matter how much you hate the platform, you have to have some level of respect for it. Seems how it's what made you famous in the first place. Jake would then tweet, "Imagine saying, yes, you made $45 million, but I'm a YouTuber and I'm proud." KSI would then respond by saying, "My YouTube channels, Sidemen YouTube channels, Sides, XIX Vodka, Music/Tours, Prime Hydration, Adidas, Misfits Boxing. Think about it, Jake." Jake Paul responds saying, "This dude is pushing 30 years old, flexing his collection of YouTube channels," and left it with a bunch of laughing emojis. After that, KSI would then respond by saying, "All your eggs in one basket, and you still can't sell out your fight." Which then Jake Paul would respond with this tweet, which to be honest sounds like a load of bullcrap, but here you go. "Out of respect for Alex, I won't expose you, but you know what's going on. You know what you and your team asked me to do to help sell your fight. You need me to build your hype. I advised your opponent." Let that sink in. Jake, you keep on saying these things, like exposing people kind of like you said you were going to expose Hasim Rahman Jr. and show the footage of you beating him up. Like, come on, man. You gotta stop. To which Proper Loud Music would respond to Jake Paul saying, "Utter BS. I asked for you to be there so you can witness your client get mauled and crap your panties again like you did last time in the hallway and start hyping the fight with KSI. We don't need you to sell tickets or PPV, but your MSG seat plan shows that you do." To which KSI would tweet a picture of himself flexing and saying, "Camp is going well." And yeah, that wraps the whole thing up. KSI will sell more PPVs, Jake Paul will box a real boxer, and just maybe we'll finally see Jake Paul versus KSI. To be quite honest, I'm here just to see how many different belts they make. With that being said, make sure to like and subscribe, comment down below your thoughts. Will this beef ever end? I don't know. But make sure to like and subscribe.
What?
Straight to the bank here, no cap.
Shoot the Lord!